Another week, another list of fascinating breaking news stories, especially those that will affect us. And today we're going to get into it. Y'all know I'm doing my little backdrop so you can know exactly what we're going to be talking about. Everything from the federalization of Washington, D.C., and the impact it's going to have on our communities. Also, listen, the redistricting strategy is truly about to take over, especially the red states, right? The purging of history as it relates to the Smithsonian, excuse me, y'all. Listen, I got some water here. Let me take a sip. And the purging of the jobs, right? And also the jobs that some of us have in the FEMA department, you're now being mandated to transfer over to the ICE department. Oh, sorry. And the distractions are continuing. And so, yes, I am in the midst of many, many meetings. So you may hear some things binging and dinging and all of that, but we are going to get into what is going on. There is a poll in the comments. I want you to click and let me know what breaking news Black story has shocked you the most this week. Look, this is going to be a weekly series because I am not enjoying, or nor do I respect the way that the news is covering these breaking news stories, especially because of the impact it's going to have on us as a community and those things being hidden, right? Hidden in plain sight. So I'm going to do my part whenever the weeks are popping like this week and last week. My goal is just to come on and do some summaries, bring up some articles that support my POV. But and also the labor statistics, the purging of the actual factual information as it relates to the labor statistics. And so go ahead, if you are in here now, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to introduce myself in a minute for those who are new. Um, Comment if you have any questions, sane questions, non um just don't get on our nerves in here. If you're new, please, please, please. I don't usually block people, but we ain't got time. We see all the stuff that's going on, we got to get through. Also, if you are watching this in the future, I always tell people, go ahead, this is a live show. It usually goes an hour. It won't be more than an hour today, although I always say that. But go ahead and go to the little wrench, increase the speed to whatever is appropriate for you. I never do less than 1.5 speed. So go ahead, watch it on a faster mode so you can get through the information quicker. Where do we start? Oh my, okay, what's up? So I don't have to worry. No worries. We got the moderator in the building, the moderator with the wrench who's not afraid to use it. Hey, Christine, what's up? Good to see you. So, what a week, what a week, what a week. This is going to be the segment that we focus on. It's What a Week in Black News. And so we're going to cover the stories that are relevant to us. If you are new here, I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And on this channel, we talk all things wellness, travel, and finances. Money, honey. And we've been adding quite a bit of politics lately because it's necessary, because of the times we're in, because we have to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. To become a part of this beautiful community, the Gem Nation, you will become a gemstone. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel. Now, there's many other ways for you to become a part of this community, and we'll talk about those later. Or you could go in the description box and see just some of the ways. But just to become part of the community, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are on a quest to get to 50,000 community members strong by the end of 2025. And just so y'all understand, it's not about vanity, it's about building community. Because I know if we get to 50,000, or when we get to 50,000, a quarter of that community will be active. And if nothing else, these news stories show you is that we need to be in community now more than ever. So let's get into some of the news stories now. And so let's just quickly start with, we talked a little bit about the, being Black in DC already. That was when the announcement first came out that the federal government was going to take over the city and storm the city with what they're calling, more law enforcement. But we know who they're targeting. We know that it's not going to be good for people of color. And I want us to pay attention and especially have these conversations with young people. They have already started, with the okey doke. Some of y'all have seen the video. I'm going to play it so you can see what has been going on. And let's see if we can get to it quickly. But before we get into that, I would love, love, love to know if any of you know anybody who's currently living in DC, moving to DC. And if you do, go ahead and have these conversations, y'all. Go ahead, because it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And I want us to protect the ones that we can. How about that? How we could protect the ones that we can. And so many people are, I think, not paying attention to exactly what that, or what this can look like. What is really going on in DC and what that can look like. And I'm trying to find this video. I don't want to waste too much time, but some of y'all may have seen the video, and it shows the FBI. The problem is so many people post like 100 times a day, so it's hard for me to find. It's hard for me to find the videos when I need it, but I know DL Hughley posted the video, and I'm trying to pull it up right now. But what I'm going to tell you what happened as we're finding this video. Oh man, it's making me agree to some terms and conditions that I really don't want to agree to right now. Why do they do this to me? But let's go ahead. Oh, that's a commercial. So get through before I pull it up on the screen. But what's happening is the FBI is patrolling Washington, D.C., and they're stopping Black men on their own stoops, on their own porches, for no other reason than harassment. Whenever, and we talked about this in the last video, when you get the green light, or when these law enforcement officials get the green light to do whatever it is that they want, there's some, I like to call them cornballs, some nerds out in these streets that literally have never had a sense of power. But let's go ahead, and I'm not going to play the audio video because I don't want this this video to be affected. So let's go ahead and share. And this is just showing what it's looking like in DC right now. Which is Child, it's bananas. So I have it muted, or do I have it muted? It's muted now. I'm going to increase, and then we're going to play. And you can kind of read what's going on. This is what it's looking like, y'all. Now, sometimes I do think that, they're just smiling because, they ain't got nothing to worry about. They're not going to stop them. They're not coming for them. And so, the DEA is in charge of the police force. Is that what it said? But anyway, the FBI and DEA agents are patrolling Washington, D.C. And the sad part is, like I said, they are literally stopping. Let me stop sharing this. They're stopping people, Black men, on their stoops that literally are doing nothing but socializing. And so I do want us to have these conversations because, like I said, this is not going to get better. This is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. It looks like they're trying to scrub some of the things that I've seen on other social media pages that outline what's going on. And let me just talk about it. So the agents stop and they're like, do you have ID? What's your name? They're on their porch, minding their business. So luckily, these were not hot-headed. And when I say hot-headed, people who, who were in their ego, and they, were like, wait a minute, we're on our porch, you came over here, you asked me for ID. And the agent was literally like, this is what Trump wants. This is this is what he wants. So he actually gave them some advice, even though I think it, it's still disgusting. But he was like, listen, don't be out here smoking, don't be out here drinking, right? Basically. And the fact that so many young kids that are oblivious to what the news cycle is, that go to colleges like UDC, that go to Howard, even, Georgetown, right? If you are a Black man or woman going to Georgetown, walking around Georgetown, you may be deemed a suspect. And so I really want us to pay attention to just how this is going to escalate and the rhetoric that's going to come behind it. And everything's going to be defensible from the administration. Every action from his law enforcement is going to be defensible. Now, again, this is not about having solutions. It's about being in community. And so we're going to keep a close eye on that, right? So when we talk about the federalization of DC, we know this is Mayor Bowser, Marielle, and she basically has been on the media circuit, so to speak, to share her thoughts on what's going on. She is being politically correct. She's definitely being trained by some brilliant minds, right? And on what to do and what not to do. She was also trained under other local leaders who have been through tumultuous times in DC. And so I do believe that, she's probably doing as much as she can to make sure that the city stays safe. However, I do believe there needs to be a call to action, meaning she needs to instill a curfew for the city. I think to protect our children, there needs to be a curfew. Now, this is a 30-day, I'll call it test market for those who are in marketing, a 30-day test market to see just how far they can go. And then expansion into other cities. Most of them will be run by Black mayors. He's already called it out. So the attack on cities that currently have Black mayors, Mayor browser says that she can't really just say it's because they have Black mayors, but they're cities that are heavily Democratic and are urban areas. And so even if it's not that they're Black mayors, they are targeting certain cities because they want to take control of those cities. And so, again, let's just all be aware. Listen, let's all be aware of what's going on and not turn our blind eye to it, which is going to lead me to this man right here. But the distraction of Dr. Umar is what I'm calling it, but we'll save that for last. Also, oh my goodness, many of you know, and I'm going to get to your comments in a minute, but I am currently in South Carolina, and exactly what they have been doing in Texas and Florida is what they plan to do in South Carolina, and that is stealing seats, stealing seats in the Senate that are pretty much guaranteed to be Democratic and potentially, more than likely Black Democrats. And so let's just get into that news story. I can't find the article. I mean, I can't find the video of when the brothers were on the porch, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and see what is going on with James Clyburn. What is going on? James Clyburn, child. Him and my mom went to state together, child. That is was my mom's boy. Well, in state. I'm not going to act like we were family friends or anything like that. But they're coming after his seat. They are coming after his seat in a redistricting plan. And basically, this gerrymandering situation is going to ramp up. So we need to be prepared. We just need to be prepared. They are trying to literally get rid of any non-loyalist, any non-Republican. Now, there are some Democrats who are really Republicans. We know that. We know that people don't always run on the ticket that they truly believe in. They run on the ticket that they believe they can win. So, but they're trying to get rid of actual factual congressmen and senators who don't fall in line with their plan. And so James Clyburn is South Carolina's most powerful Democrat. And holds a lot of power as it relates to his constituents, his community, and they want to get rid of that. So they're looking to do exactly what was done in Texas, in Florida, and again, they are literally trying to whitewash some. Oh my goodness. He says he's going to protect his district at all costs. We'll see what that means. But again, they're getting ready for midterms. They're getting ready to basically take over. And so, as I said before, these are plans that have been in place for decades. This is not new. This is not new. This is the 2025 project in action. And so I have to go because all of, child, they are truly erasing. They are erasing a lot of the information. Child. So Clyburn's seat is at risk. And there will be others. And so, again, I don't have solutions. If you have solutions on what people in their areas can do to protect these seats, these districts, please put it in the comment section. Please put it in the chat. The other thing about South Carolina, which they're looking to fall lockstep in line with, is creating a detention center, with the blueprint being the one in Florida that they're calling Alcatraz, right? And so I am curious to see exactly what happens here, because again, this is just the blueprint, a template for other red states that are in lockstep with what is going on in DC to fall in line and do the same. Which that's going to take me to the FEMA to ICE conversation. Hopefully I'll be able to find this article, because all of the articles that used to pop up really quick. Oh, did y'all hear about ChatGPT, y'all? Oh, the scrubbing that is going on the new version is obvious to anyone who uses it from a cultural point of view. Yeah, there are some, as they call, anti-woke AI behaviors happening. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Okay, wow. I found the article, but it's not the major. Oh, child, it's not the major. It's not the major networks reporting. So let's go ahead and just quickly show what's going on here. And basically, we can see that Trump administration shifts FEMA staff to ICE during hurricane season. The Trump administration is transferring FEMA agency staffers or FEMA staffers to help speed the hiring of thousands of immigration enforcement agents, according to staff notices seen by Reuters and government spokespersons, diverting resources away from the agency during U.S. hurricane season. Diabolical. The Department of Homeland Security, the parent of both FEMA and the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, sent notices to affected employees directing them to accept the transfers to ICE or potentially face termination. So from what I understand, people have resigned based on this. Again, it's very telling when you make these shifts during hurricane season and during a time when you have touted that, oh, people are just clamoring. You have over 80,000 applications for 10,000 jobs, but yet you still have to force employees to shift over or lose their job. Somebody ain't telling the truth. That's what it comes down to. Somebody is not telling the truth. And we already know they're trying to make the cuts in FEMA. They want states to take over disaster zone areas or areas that are prone to disasters in time of need versus the federal government doing it. This is all part of a playbook, and it's also part of what they had laid out, right? What they had laid out in the 2025 project, and also things that will affect us disproportionately. And so when you connect all the dots with what's going on with government, it makes perfect sense that this man up here at the top has now not only are there going to be cuts with the U.S. human rights reports, they're changing what constitutes human rights. And I think this is disgusting. And I have no other way to phrase it except for they're taking away. So human rights, right? Maybe we should just do a definition. But on Tuesday, the State Department released its long-awaited reports on international human rights, which significantly scaled back the types of abuse outlined from years past. The big picture, the reports, which are usually released early in the year, were released after a prolonged delay and the sweeping restructuring of the State Department's Human Rights Bureau. So they have omitted references to the rights of women and LGBTQ+, saying they prioritize politics over a truthful accounting of human rights violations. The State Department said in its notes that the reports were adjusted in March and streamlined for utility and to be more aligned with the underlying legislative mandate and the administration's orders. So what does this kind of mean, right? So when you talk about what is going on in prison conditions in El Salvador, that's no longer going to be reported, right? When you talk about women being trafficked, that's no longer going to be part of the human rights reports. Not women, young kids, both boys and girls, being abused and trafficked has been removed. And so, what's the phrase I'd like to say? We in danger, y'all. We in danger, y'all. If it's not meant to make them look good or fall in line with what they want to happen, then it's not going to be reported, i.e., the jobs reports, right? Unemployment numbers. And it also helps when they're shifting the focus of human rights to people like white South Africaners, listing them as refugees while ending deportation protections for thousands. So they're prioritizing their personal agendas over the agendas of the people that they should be protecting, which are citizens of this country. You can read more about this. There are so many adjustments that have happened, so many things that have been taken out. He's also going to cut more workers and offices that are related to human rights. And I'm sure they have to write memos. The ones that stay and or the ones that get hired are going to have to write memos in order to continue to be a part or keep their job, let's just say. And so, yeah, so hopefully I wanted to get to what his quote was, but it's okay. Let's go ahead to the next topic of discussion. Well, you know what? Let me see what y'all are saying. And if anybody has a question, go ahead and ask. Hey, LJ, good to see you. Good to see you. You need to become a better trader. Listen, join the RAIN community or society, excuse me. People really need to understand when I talk about being in community, yes, we need to be in broad communities, but we also need to be in communities where this is going to be less important. And those are communities that are focused on investing in the market because Will the market ebb and flow? Absolutely. But there's way too much of their money tied up into the market for them to give a damn about the few pennies that we have tied up in the market. We are not creating wealth in the market. We are not in large numbers taking advantage of the benefits of the market, and they know that. So they don't really have to deal with that. Hence why the RAIN community has been created. It is time for us to reclaim. It is time for us to earn. It is time for us to invest. It is time for us to grow. And it is time for us to navigate exactly what is going on in this country from a strategic point of view. So part of the RAIN community, which is there's posts on the community page. There's also emails that have gone out to talk about it. Congratulations to the couple people who have signed up already. I didn't look to see if anyone else signed up today, but yesterday we had 2 registrants. I'm excited about that. This is a limited capacity community because the leader, the fearless leader, the fearless educator, Hakeem Webb, for those of you who have taken Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance, he spends time with everyone who is part of that community. He, unlike me, does not rush people with their questions. There is no question too stupid. There is no idea that he is not willing to engage with. So in order to keep that same type of energy, that same type of commitment, we are capping the community like we always do. And actually, if you've heard my phone going off, Hakeem and I have been in. He's on vacation still. He is on his very well-deserved vacation. But we are finalizing the RAIN community, which officially launches on September 13th. But the beautiful thing is, each and every week leading up to then, everyone who signs up, there's some surprise and delight perks. And we're starting out with whoever signs up between now and the 20th gets complimentary access to the replays of Decode Your Talent and Design Your 5-Figure Income Bootcamp, because that's another area where people need to focus. And when I say they, the ones who are running this country, encourage entrepreneurship. Now, they may not encourage it for us, like they're definitely cutting back on small business loans as it relates to us, but this is where we're going to have some protections. And so I just read an article today or yesterday that talked about there's a reason why even the most financially established celebrities have businesses. So I don't want to get into that article too much, but definitely it's just validating the fact that we need to pay attention to what is going on. Entrepreneurship, and that word may scare people, but having your own business is going to be paramount. Being able to generate additional streams of income. And in the Decode Your Talent, Design Your 5-Figure Income replays, we break down how you can do it based on what you like to do, based on what you're already good at, and in a short amount of time. Ain't nobody got time to put a 6-month business plan together, nor is it necessary with all the resources and access that we have. So listen, if you are thinking about joining the RAIN community, try to do it before the 20th, where you will get free access. Now, there's assessments that you have to take first, so the replays won't be delivered until the first week, because we're not just going to dump you with the replays. We're going to help guide you through the replays. So you'll get complimentary access to the replays from the Decode Your Talent, Design Your 5-plus-figure Income Fast boot camp. It's a boot camp because there's no reason that within 28 days you cannot have a successful business, meaning generating income, if you focus, if you follow the blueprint. And we also talk about developing your digital twin that can help you in the process. And so RAIN was created for a reason. for a reason, such as all these breaking news stories that are happening, and getting us to refocus and reclaim the power that we have as a community, and doing it in community. And so I'm looking forward to the launch of that course. Y'all are going to be really happy. You can check out the link in the description. I think it's at the top, but I'll put it in as well, and to see exactly what the course is about. Now, some of y'all, this may not be the right course for you, because, while I think it's inexpensive based on everything that you're getting, we understand that, not everyone's going to be able to make that type of commitment. When you break it down, though, especially because we're talking 10 weeks of active participation from not only Hakeem, but other experts teaching you. So that's where I was going. That one of the weeks is going to be about trading. You're going to also see me trade live, right? You're going to see others trade live, and exactly what that looks like, because I too am a trader, right? And I look for the best opportunities. I don't trade every day, nor do I want to, but there's certain days, and I will say, based on this man and how he's moving, he has simplified the trading or short-term trading process for many. But many of us just don't even know. While other people out here getting rich and wealthy, we sitting on the sidelines worried about Dr. Umar. And so let me go ahead and put the link in the chat for you to find out more about the program. There's also payment plans, and this is going to live. We already have, that I'm aware of, 2 people registered, and maybe more, but that means it's go mode. We are doing this no matter how many people. Oh, you know what you can do? You can go to bit.ly/Rain Society. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat, because that's the shorter version. And I'm also going to start, or you could go to the Rain Society. So yeah, so become part of the Founders Circle by the 20th, and you will get a whole 5-week boot camp that people already paid $500 for, right? And so the value is much more, but you can read more about it in the link. And then we're going to get back to the news story, y'all. But I saw that quote about trading, because that's the right sentiment to have. Getting money out of the market while the market is printing money. It won't always be this way. There are some headwinds in not, I don't want to give a timing, but we got time is what I'm saying. That's why the urgency of getting this course together. We started working on this course as soon as the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance course was done. But understanding summertime and people less focused during the summer, and we wanted to make it right. We have finally, I'm so excited that we were able to announce it. So it's Rain Society, all small caps. I hope that's right. So yeah, okay, now let's get back to the news. Okay. Oh no, I was going through the comments. That's what I was doing, right? So investing and trading, and we see, I talked about how all the markets are at all-time highs. For those, there was a reason why we did the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance community when we did. There were telltale signs. Part of one of the courses was about okay, y'all want to just focus on the fact, oh, this turning into the oligarchs are taking over, the tech bros are doing this. Well, were you paying attention from a financial? How can you too take advantage of what is going on? The writing was there. The people that were bowing down to this man owned businesses that they wanted to succeed. And if you pay attention, all of those people, except Apple has had a little increase, but they just kind of, went and did the visit. But for everyone else, including I don't want to call them out, but they have been on a climb. And if you were a trader, you too could have made money based on the moves that they made early in this year. I mean, the writing was there. You could have literally had a triple digit return on your investment just by paying attention. And so these are the types of conversations that we're going to have. Again, this is for people who are serious. It's not for people who, just have extra time on their hands and they want to be in a course. No, this is for people who are serious. And the founders, let me also say this, the people who sign up as founders get grandfathered in to some of the weekly meetups and some of the other extensions that we're going to have. And so again, when you break down the actual charge that we're doing with having a wealth advisor at the ready, that would usually cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars to have in this capacity. Yeah, it's a bargain. So let me go through the comments. You know what? I'm going to quickly go through the last two stories, which are the Smithsonian, the purging of the Smithsonian, and also AI. So we just talked about areas that we need to do better at. Well, understanding AI is one of those, and not just understanding, but how to use it responsibly to help us. And so also part of the RAIN community is going to be a whole education for those who don't understand how you can literally use this platform, not just to ask questions, oh, how can I make a low calorie cupcake? Yeah, no. No. We are using these large language models for our benefit while we can. And the reason why I say that, because I already mentioned how the anti-woke AI strategy is a key focus of the people in the admin. And so until that takes over completely, we need to not only understand how to use what we have now, but also how to create what we're going to need. And so, again, that is all part of the RAIN Society. There's more tips and bits that will be released later, but since you guys are here, there's just a whole lot of information that you are going to get. So the first 5 weeks is more about the money, investing, understanding how to understand the people in charge and their money moves, so that you too can follow the leader or follow the robber barons or follow the oligarchs or whatever you want to call them. But these people are about to make some real money, y'all. And many of us are going to be on the sidelines when we don't need to be, with all of the increases. They were just talking about here how much things like detergent, toothpaste, soap, all of those are going to spike exponentially. Now, learning how to make your own, chef's kiss. But if you're still purchasing, especially for large families, you got to get ready so you don't stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. So let's go ahead and talk about the purging of the Smithsonian. We saw what he was doing with the National Archives, right? We talked about it on this channel months ago. The changes, firing I think it was a woman, the black woman who were at the head of the National Archives, so that they can go in and do whatever they want, get rid of whatever they want, erase history however they want. Well, think of that with the Smithsonian too. He specifically said that he wants history. I want to get the exact wording that he used. But basically what they're saying, restoring truth and sanity to American history is what is on their page. So let me just read what he has written. And I'll share this because I think it's important for you guys to see as well. But yeah, this is the page of the White House. How come it didn't share? The browser can't access your screen. Try capturing a different screen to see if this continues. What? What? Child, these platforms. So let's try this one more time. If this doesn't share this time. Oh, whew, child, I was about to say. So this is, you can see what page it's on. And so I'm going to try to read through it fast. Over the past decade, Americans have witnessed a concerted and widespread effort to rewrite our nation's history, replacing objective facts with a distorted narrative driven by ideology rather than truth. The revisionist movement seeks to undermine the remarkable achievements of the United States by founding principles and historic milestones in a negative light. Under this historic revision, our nation's unparalleled legacy of advancing liberty, individual rights, and human happiness is reconstructed as inherently racist, sexist, oppressive, or otherwise irredeemably flawed, rather than fostering unity and a deeper understanding of our shared past. The widespread efforts to rewrite history deepens societal divides and fosters a sense of national shame, disregarding the progress America has made and the ideas that continue to inspire millions. So let's go down to the National Museum of African American History and Culture has proclaimed that hard work, individualism, and the nuclear family are aspects of white culture. The forthcoming Smithsonian American Women's History Museum plans on celebrating the exploits of male athletes participating in women's sports. These are just a few examples. It is the policy of my administration to restore federal sites dedicated to history, including parks and museums, to solemn and uplifting public monuments that remind Americans of our extraordinary heritage, not the ugly side, right? But the extraordinary heritage, not the stealing, but the extraordinary heritage, not the transatlantic slave historical references, but the extraordinary heritage. Consistent progress towards becoming a more perfect union, an unmatched record of advancing liberty, prosperity, and human flourishing. Museums in our nation's capital should be places where individuals go to learn, not be subjected to ideological indoctrination or divisive narratives that distort our shared history. Whew. To advance this policy, we will restore the Smithsonian Institution to its rightful place as a symbol of inspiration and American greatness, igniting the imagination of young minds, honoring the richness of American history and innovation, and instilling pride in the hearts of Americans. So, listen, did y'all catch what he was putting down? Did y'all catch what he was putting down, y'all? What is going to happen to these museums, especially the ones that are explicitly created for Black history? We in danger, y'all. We in danger. And so these are the top areas that we will be affected. There was another story that kind of ties into what I talked about last night. So if you missed the video yesterday about the top 10 things that are making and keeping us ill, the top 10 ingredients, go ahead and check it out, because that's another story that is ramping up. And I don't know if you heard about whoo, we are now having butter made by carbon that is going to be on the shelves. We didn't even talk about the fake salmon that is being created, right? But the fake butter If it's not nerve-wracking to you, it should be. If the appeal pesticide, which they're not calling a pesticide, the appeal produce preserver, I'll call it, we should be concerned. So here's a story on that. And then I'm going to go back to reading the comments. So, we in danger. So let's go ahead and see what they're saying. Oh, child, I don't want that. Okay. So the headline is Bill Gates' back butter made from carbon is slammed for being disgusting, as even billionaires admit it is strange. A synthetic butter made entirely from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and backed by Bill Gates, has been slammed online as disgusting. This bizarre spread is made by Savor, a company based in Batavia, Illinois, and is backed by the Microsoft founder. Like, why? Why is he now the largest farm owner? Why is he buying up products that used to be deemed as naturally healthy, and changing the makeup to make them less healthy? Why is he creating synthetic butter? I don't even want to get more into it. They are combining hydrogen. I don't want to get deep into it, but this is the overview. They are combining hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen to create fat molecules, then manipulate that to taste like butter. Why do this when we already have butter? Thank you. So yeah, so if you haven't watched the video yesterday, we talk about the top 10 ingredients. We didn't even talk about makeup. We didn't talk about products like that help us clean our home. We didn't talk about skincare really. There are so many products that we should be throwing away that are in our homes, but many of us just don't know that we should be throwing them away. So go ahead, start with that video. We also talk about toothpaste. We talk about, listen, when you go get that next tortilla, that bread, there may be some products in there that are causing or have been known to lead to the big C word, right? And so, yeah, watch that video. It was done yesterday. I want to do another video that talks more about the products in the home, the makeup. I talked about nail polish and the effects that has on our systems and our bodies. But yeah, so let's get into the comments. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments, in the chat with the Q or QQQ. And then we'll end on Dr. Umar and the distraction that he is. Hey, ABX girl. Yeah, please have the conversations if you have a lot of friends and family, have the conversations. Like, I am so waiting for, and maybe something happened today and I just didn't see it. Let me go to, but I'm waiting for something from Howard University. I didn't get an email about it, so maybe it's on one of their pages, but we really need to think about the kids that are there that have no idea about, one, if they get stopped, what to do, but that the number of us that will be stopped on a more regular basis and can't prove who they are. The first thing that man did to the people on the porch was like, what's it, your name or your ID? One of the two. But he was like, I'm on my porch. Like, he didn't even reach for it. But if you are not in the know, if you don't know what your rights are, listen. Oh, But yeah, I haven't received anything from my university yet. Somebody had put in the comment section on one of the pages, because they were promoting other stuff, and people were like, okay, can you sit there? Can you go ahead and tell us exactly what we should be telling these students? Because right now, nobody's really saying nothing about what we should be doing as a community to help keep our kids safe. And so I want us to have these conversations, rather they live there, rather they go to school there, rather they're just visiting. These are the conversations that we need to be having, instead of the conversations about Dr. Umar and his school and the liens and all of that. And so, yep, still nothing, still nothing, still nothing, still nothing, still nothing. This is, we in danger, y'all. Okay, back to the comments. ICE was checking drivers at the street lead. Yeah, no, I know. Angela Rye was talking about that as well. But they're not over by Georgetown. They where they were told to go. And so we really need to be careful as to what they want, that property. And I've been saying this since for the past 20 years. At all of the moves that they have made so far, for those of you that don't know, a lot of Howard's property is considered waterfront. There's a huge lake, and it's valuable. The gentrification has made the surrounding areas, which was once considered, not so nice, super valuable. They want that property. And with this man in office, I just don't know. And not just this man, this administration with all of the power they have. And that, yeah. Follow the money. We talked about it before, and I agree. This is a fake flex. He has 30 days. He has 30 days, but the thing about DC is not a normal city or state. It is technically owned by the government. It's a district. And while he has 30 days, this man and this administration is in such a who gonna check me boo mentality. There has not been many things that this man has signed or said he was going to do. Listen, he defied judges' orders to turn a plane back. Who gonna check him? He has defied orders to bring people back home. Who gonna check him? So I don't know if it's a fake flex, but we'll see. He's, criminals do illegal things, right? Felons do illegal things. A lot of what he has done, he has violated people's rights. He has put people on planes to foreign countries that they have never been to with no due process. Is illegal. But who gonna check him, boo? Like, that's the mentality this man has, and we have to understand that ain't nobody really doing nothing. So it may be illegal, it may be unconstitutional, but he is truly trying to rip the Constitution to shreds in areas that, make sense for him. So when people say, somebody came in the comments before and said, oh, something about, well, it's in the Constitution about the National Guard coming to DC or something like that. Or they take it. No, they were talking about the military takes an oath. And part of the oath is to defend the Constitution. Now, why on God's green earth should they be required to defend the Constitution when their bosses are dismantling the Constitution? I don't get it. Like, make it make sense. Also, this man has never, that man had bone spurs, and I'll just leave it at that. That man had bone spurs. But telling military people that they got to come, child, he led people to do harm to other officers on January 6th. But y'all want me to think, yeah, people have to listen to him because they took an oath in protecting the Constitution? If that's not the definition of insanity. But anyway, yeah, if you haven't gone ahead, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We are on a quest to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year, to simply build community, to simply stay in communication, because we're going to need it. LJ, talk. Yeah, you saw a clip of folks getting a talking to on their property. Yeah, they're stopping people by the HBCU, Howard University. I wouldn't be surprised if they're also by UDC, which is the University of the District of Columbia. They're stopping people on their porches. They have done a video showcasing the arrests that they've made since this has been implemented. And the only people that are in that video are us. The homeless situation, where are these homeless people being shipped to? Where are they being sent to? They had already started that, but where are they going? No, nobody's being forced to document. Hey, Juanita, good to see you. Yes, and like Christine said, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Governor Newsom's speech, the man has been trolling. Yeah, listen, hope protect these people at all costs. The way they're, and I knew this was going to happen once, literally once that man was deemed the winner in November, I knew they were going to come after Letitia James in New York, and they're going to use, the DOJ is going to use everything in their power. And so people who are willing to fight the good fight, let's just go ahead and, you know, if you're a praying person, just put it out, say a prayer where two or more are gathered, or where two or more are speaking that person's name into protection. There's power there. So just, you know, these people, listen, there are people leaving this country, celebrities leaving this country, because I believe a lot has to do with the fear of retaliation. So you look at, and these are white people. So you look at Ellen DeGeneres, you look at Roseanne Barr, like, not Roseanne Barr, excuse me, Rosie O'Donnell, excuse me. And there are others that are setting up their places because they are fearing retribution. And if they're not setting up their places, they're doing a pivot. So think of Bill Maher. Like, these are hot people that are fearful of retaliation. And so, again, the same with Governor Newsom. Listen, first, you know, that man don't like no Newsom because of how he looks, right? That's first and foremost. That's first and foremost. We also didn't talk about the charges, because there's just so much news. If you did not answer the poll, there is a poll that should still be there that talks about I want to know the news story that was more shocking to you. But there's another news story that we didn't get to, and that was they're looking to arrest Adam Schiff. Oh, is the poll no longer there, child? Where's my poll? Anyway, because they can't come after 45, but they are going to make examples. They are throwing as much stuff on the wall. Some of these people that are currently in the admin, I bet you they're going to leave soon, because the the amount of work that they have on their desk, child, they may not, they be like, you know what, it ain't worth it. Let me go hang out with the minorities, because this right here is for the birds. They are just, listen, they are in lockstep, warp speed. And yes, 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 it is definitely a war on us, child. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. And it's also, listen, a reason why he has removed any um Black person from even being close to the Situation Room, for even being close to sensitive topics. Now, that HUD guy who's a joke, listen, ain't nobody paying attention to him, but that's another news story. They are shifting things so that the not the financing, but the assistance that has been given for housing and low income housing is going to be removed, and he's doing that. But another thing, so these are the things we're going to talk about, like in RAIN, right? In the RAIN Society. When you follow the money, you'll know the truth. That should be a slogan. When you follow the money, you know the truth. I learned that long time ago, and damn if every word of that is not true. This man is about to IPO 2 companies. It has to get passed and all of that, but it will probably get passed. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. People are worried about the stock market going away. Oh, not when the government is about to benefit handsomely from these IPOs. Like, listen, there are just certain things that I do believe there's fear mongering out there. Hell, people say I fear monger, whatever. But there's certain things that I know that I know that I know. And what I know is that you need to be in the RAIN community so you too can know what you know, and benefit from it financially. And so that's all I'll say about that, because I'll be getting off track, y'all. Y'all got to keep me on track. We knew after they got entrenched in the deportation, they would come after us. Yeah, we've been talking about this. Listen, I think that was one of my first videos. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I can find that video, because I needs to let the peoples know that the divine has been literally talking to me. So I'm going to just find that video real quick. And again, another thing I highly encourage, if you are looking to get your residency someplace else, well, if you're not, you need to be. But if you are, listen, my calendar's open for the rest of August. If you need some hand-holding as it relates to Mexican residency strategy, help in the process, go ahead. The link should be in the description of this video. But everyone that before was saying, oh, I'm not going nowhere, this is my country, we built this. Child, if you got children here, protect your children. There is nothing beautiful to be a martyr for this country that don't give a damn, especially, again, for those who have children. So I'm just going to show you real quick that this has not been a game. When I did those 60 plus days live stretch, it was because, again, it wasn't my idea, but there was definitely someone pushing me to do that expedited movement, not knowing that they too had an expedited movement that was going to happen. And so, yeah, I did a whole playlist, the 2025 Agenda for Black America, child. If you have not caught those videos, go ahead, find them, because let me just say some of the names. Buckle Up, Black America. This was, oh my gosh, bumpy road ahead. That was done 8 months ago. Let me share the screen, child. Let me just share, because y'all, for those of you that are new, that was not part of the movement from the OG, from back in the days, there's some OGs in the community. So I know y'all know, but let's just say, Buckle Up, Black America. Oh, I didn't share the screen. If you're an OG gemstone from back in November, December, go ahead and put some diamonds in the chat, please. So yeah, you can see this was 8 months ago. Buckle up, Black America. Bumpy ride ahead. Warning, stay ready. Let's see. This was 7 months ago, live. The truth is in front of our face, Black America. What is this? There's good news and there's bad news. Job market predictions for Black Americans. So the name of this is Project 2025 summary for Black people. This was 8 months ago. The setback. Let's review some of the mandates. I'm gonna just listen. I'm not gonna go. Never mind, because I'll get caught up, and we've already been here. If y'all got time, I got time. If y'all ain't got time, then we'll jump off in a few. It's about to rain here again, child. That's the one constant here. Oh, let's look at this one, child. Oh my gosh. Black jobs will disappear in 2025. How to prepare, part 2, 8 months ago. Like, this was part 1. The disappearing Black jobs of 2025. Time to plan. Yes. Very. Black people, it's okay to bounce. That's what I was just talking about. It's okay. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. Listen, I know there's some people that's like, oh, I can't leave my children's. And I'm talking about adult children. I'm not talking about little babies. I can't leave my 40-year-old son. Can't leave my 35-year-old daughter. Why? Why? And I'm not even saying leave. I'm saying stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Get your papers in order. Shout out to LJ, who is out of here with her son. When I first met LJ, and I don't know if she's still in the chat, but shout out to her for doing the big one. She was at a crossroads because she was trying to convince her mom, who has, health needs, like most parents who start to age, she was at a crossroads because she too was like, I'm trying to get mommy to go. She doesn't want to go, but I think I got her. I think she's ready. Oh no, she's not ready. Shout out to her for last month doing the big one and saying pieces, deuce out. She went to Colombia, Bogota, with her son. Now she's going to do some more scouting and exploring, but she's protecting her baby. And when I say baby, her son, is not an adult of age. And so, again, it's okay to bounce, y'all. It really is. And I'll say it again. And if you don't know where to start, even if it's not me, find somebody, hire somebody to help you start the process and get through it. I have a client who I hope she's okay. I had a consultation with her a couple weeks ago, and she said she had a vision. She's single, no children, has family. None of them want to leave. She's like, I'm out of here. So we went through the steps, the process. I think the process is taking too long for her. And she's like, I want to be out of here like next week. I want to be out of here now. And so this is too much. Now, I do believe slow and steady wins the race, right? Haste makes waste, all of those sayings. But there are people out here that spirits realize that this place no longer aligns, with their chi, with their energy, with who they are. And so they're making moves without having to convince other people. Like, you can spread the word, say what you're doing, tell the people why maybe they should. But once the resistance comes, get out of that space, get out of that negative space and continue. It's okay for us not to stay here and fight. Harriet Tubman took people not just up north. She took people across the border. She took people into Canada. If you've never done that, and I still have to finalize this video, but if you've never gone to the African American Museum up there, it tells you all about the risk that we took to cross the border into Canada after and there's a whole trail. There's a whole, oh my goodness, Underground Railroad trail that you can learn about. people were taken to Mexico. So again, leaving is okay. We've been doing it.
There are passport
that I talked about. Passport changes are here. What Black Americans should know. Don't if you don't have your passport, if it's about to expire, go ahead and take care of that today. And that's all I'll say about that. But we've been talking about
yes, very
the changes that are coming.
Hey everyone, we are live.
The Stay Ready So You Don't Have to Get Ready playlist is on the channel. Then there's a Stay Ready So You Don't Have to Get Ready 2.0. That's what we've been talking about recently. So yeah, we've been talking about this. And again, I don't take credit because this channel was supposed to be about how to invest in the stock market, learning strategies, normalizing money and wealth conversations. It was also to talk about travel, normalizing doing all the things, learning from other cultures as we travel. It was also to talk about wellness. What are some of the areas that we can mitigate our over indexing, our disproportionate numbers as it relates to ailments, and how we can do those things, right? Again, not being a doctor, just learning as I've spent time on this earth. And so that's what this channel was supposed to be about. And then one day, a week after the results, I got a calling. Real talk. I got a calling and haven't looked back and will not look back. But this is, also me saying, we don't have to stay and fight. Fight for what? For land? Who owns this land really? Like, that's the thing. Like, oh gosh, there's so much to that. We'll have more of these conversations in our RAIN community. Let's see. More Black people. ABX says, I'm looking at being away from the US 7/4/2026 or 2. Oh yeah. And it's a Saturday next year. Oh, they got big plans for that. Let me tell you, the sinister feelings that I'm getting based on what they plan to do during the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Yeah. We all need to be on a vacay. It's fighting hard. Stay strong. So the other thing I heard, listen, our unity in the community is lackluster at best. Oh gosh. So I have quite a few friends who are up in Martha's Vineyard. One of my good friends from college, he DJs all over Martha's Vineyard the entire summer and he posts a lot. I have other friends who are up there. And when I tell you these dignitaries are up here sunbathing, tanning, there is no call to action. There is no organizing from a mass level, right? There is no communication from the churches. They have already made an example of like the mega pastors like TD Jakes and, yeah. So I'll say that while Jasmine Crockett is staying strong, the rest of her constituents aren't. So I think they've already decided to go back to Texas, if I'm not mistaken. But yesterday, Texas, so from what I understand, as of yesterday, I think it was like they only needed 12 Democrats to come back. They had 9. They only needed 3 more. And then once they had those 3, it was donezo for the fight. And so when you have 9 people breaking ranks so soon. Now, listen, I've never had my life threatened. I've never, had my family's life threatened. I try to give grace where grace is due. but from what one of the representatives were saying, none of them were Black people that went back. None of the 9 people were Black. So, I don't know if they know what it's like to fight. And I don't know if we'll just see. We'll just see. Again, I try to give grace, but I know Jasmine Crockett, I believe she was up in the vineyard, supposedly raising money, if I'm not mistaken. You know, now maybe they're behind closed doors trying to put together some action items. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. When they get to Chicago, New York, there will be heavy fighting. I hope so. Well, I won't even say I hope so. Makes me nervous. Let's just say that, depending on who's doing the fighting. ABX Girl says, my close relatives already have retirement visas approved for Colombia, and they are inviting me to check out Medellin. They are doing well and feel very safe. Medellin, gas, excellent, most transit. Yeah, I know people who, well, I won't say they moved to Medellin full time, but they have lived in Medellin. And yeah, they'll make you think that, oh, there was a recent child. They will gaslight you. So I don't know if you also heard this. Mexico is on high alert again from this country. Oh, here comes the thunder. Hopefully, if the Wi-Fi goes out, I'll come back on. But I just heard the thunder rolling in. So supposedly they just issued another travel advisory to Mexico, except for maybe 2 spaces, which includes where I go, the Yucatan Peninsula. But most other places, they're saying due to high crimes, it's like a do not travel. I was trying to pull up the latest. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to show you the top line stories. You can research more or yourself, but this came out a day ago. State Department updates Mexico travel advisory for Americans. So let me just ask you, y'all know who's over the State Department, right? The guy from Cuba, Rubio. 4 hours ago, U.S. State Department places level 2 travel advisory for Mexico. A day ago, Americans issue new urgent travel warnings for Mexico. Meanwhile, millions of people are trying to get appointments at consulates and upset because they can't, because they're so over. People are, taking up all the appointments. But yeah, now they're going to, what is this? U.S. warns tourists do not travel to sections of popular vacation spots. If y'all need a consultation for getting your residency in Mexico, I'm available through August, probably the first week of September when I'm still here. If I am able to get everything done by then, I may be here longer. We'll see. But yeah, go ahead and book a consultation. I think that should be in the description as well of this video. But again, they are not playing checkers. They're playing chess, and at high levels. And unfortunately, we are simply not paying attentiones. We need to pay attentiones. I'm getting back to the comments in a second. I just wanted to put the calendar and last month it was $50 off. I want to say it's $20 off right now for consultations. And just know that you get the first consultation to go through, your strategy, places, all that other stuff. Then you get a second 20-minute follow-up call before your consulate meeting. Before your consulate meeting, to make sure you have all of your documents ready to go. This year alone, what is this? I'm going to say, and I haven't done the actual numbers of everyone that I have done one-on-ones with, 7 people are in the second phase of their process. Some people are still in the process. Some people are trying to convince husbands and all that other stuff. But 7 people that I could think of, because I went through some emails earlier today, and there's 7 people who have already received approval on the US side and are now heading to, I think that should work, and now heading to Mexico to finalize. And just know that things, I hope and pray that, oh no, it's not $20 off right now. It's full price. I will change it to $20 off right now. So average, yeah, it's $297 normally. It's going to be $277. I'll keep it for the next week at $277. So yeah, so hold off on booking. The link is in the description. I will go ahead and take that $20 off today. But I will say this, if and however you are looking to join the RAIN community, go ahead and do that. If you're not in an urgent state to get residency in Mexico, because I will be sharing some details there. And so, but if you are exclusively wanting to look at getting residency in Mexico, go ahead and book a consultation now, before things are changing frequently. And so we want to make sure before they change the financial requirements in 2026, which they will, they do it every year, you can go ahead and get in. So yeah, I'll change that shortly. And I'm gonna get back to the comments in a section. There was something else I wanted to share with you guys, and Lord knows it just becomes harder and harder to remember everything. But we are going to do a weekly, what a week updated news story. Segment. And listen, I don't think I'm going out today. Well, maybe later today, because the rain, thunderstorms are expected. We're in a flood warning, whatever you call it. So I don't want to be driving out in these streets, because these people don't know how to drive here. Let me just say that. It's not me, it's them, child. They do not know how to drive. And then the deer want to just run across the road all willy-nilly and whatnot. So yeah, no. I'm good on that. I am good on that. So I'm about to change the price right now too. I'm doing it right now. I'll just make it $275 instead of $277. So you actually get in $22 off. Okay, it has been changed. So if you want to go ahead and book, you can. Now back to the comments. Okay, so I like Ronald. Ronald is part of the Gym Nation. He about to take over the top spot. I love it. I love the engagement. And congratulations, ABS Girl. Definitely go check it out. Look at places. And I'm going to do a video. I could show y'all. Like, I already have the thumbnail ready to go. It's just that these news topics have been putting me in a different, there's other things I had to cover, but I have a whole video ready to go. Let me tell you what the title is going to be, because I have the thumbnail ready. It is I'm coming. Oh, here it is. New border travel restrictions for Americans, and it's going to focus on the countries that have had changes since I last did a video on best places, or the top places Black Americans are going. And it's also going to go over the places that have the easier process to get legal residency. I'm not saying citizenship. I'm not telling anybody to give up citizenship. I'm talking about being able to stay in another country for an extended amount of time legally. So that is going to be new border travel restrictions for Americans. I'm probably going to put Black Americans, because that's what we do here. And then we'll talk about the changes since I last did a video, as well as the places that have the easiest requirements to get residency. So that's coming next week. I just have to figure out the time. Yes, Godspeed to her. Not sure what I'm right about, but thank you very much, Juanita. I appreciate it. No worry about typos, child. I'm a big walking typo when I'm commenting on people's videos, especially on my phone. Yeah, they can't sacrifice our money. Understand, this country is really not that difficult to figure out, even as it relates to racism. When you understand why they really unalived MLK Jr., the economic plan, listen, everything I'm doing is in the vein of the people who did it. It's just not me going out in the street with a sign. It's just not me. I mean, I've had my days of doing that, like protesting. Hell, when I was in college, we took over the administration building to get changes done, right? Slept in it. Shout out to Mayor Raz Baraka, who led that initiative while I was there. And so, yeah, I'm about, being out in these streets, just not right now, because they playing dirty. They not that they've ever played clean, right? But now it's a whole different. They shipping people to whole other countries. They're not just hosing you down. I could take a good right? I'm not laughing about that. I'm just saying. But when you compare that to them putting you on a plane to Rwanda with no consequences or repercussions, nobody got time for that. Oh, we'll love to have you, Ronald. We'll love to have you. I literally, again, let me see who's in. I don't know who's still in here. I know Christine was part of the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance community. I know LJ was part of the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance community. I haven't gone through the rest of the names. Yes, so the RAIN Society launches September 13th. But as a founder, meaning the first X amount of, I have a call with Hakeem. He's been on vacation. I have a call with Hakeem at 7:00 tonight, and we're going to finalize what that founder number looks like. Again, I'm the organizer. I will be teaching things about trading, relocating to Mexico, also starting your own business, not starting, but if you have a business, how to amplify your client list. For those of you that don't know, I've been in sales my entire career. I've worked at Essence for almost 20 years. Prior to that, I worked in radio sales in New York. And so not only is this what I do, I have no problems talking about money. I have no problems selling services based on a value proposition, understanding that that's what that's what the stock market is, right? It's buying and selling. It's the exchanging of a share or equity, a stock, between one hand and another. This country is built on sales. And so my goal is to have us more comfortable talking about money, talking about sales, talking about, and you could, let me just simplify the RAIN community. So it's bit.ly, bit.ly slash RAIN Society, all lowercase, REIGN Society. And it'll take you straight to our sign up page or a page for more information. So Hakeem Webb, who I went over yesterday, is, I call him Hakeem the Dream, man. You talking about the whoever you like, Jordan, Kobe of basketball, LeBron, he's that of the wealth investing word. And he's ethical. He is someone who is guided by a higher power, and he talks about it like he is not ashamed to share that. And he has been in business for 30 years unscathed. His own business, helping us, focusing on helping us get ahead. And so thank you so much. So yeah, so that's the shorter version to sign up. Yes, there is you should be able to read if you sign up before the 20th. There's a 10% discount. If you use the code founders, you will be a founder, right? And that's as long as we have space at that level. So you get a 10% discount through Wednesday, the 20th. After that, it goes away. Again, I have no problems validating this cost. Actually, it should be more, and it will be more in 2026. But the level of expertise that you're going to get, child, if you don't know, you don't know. But I will say that what Hakeem is doing for this community, he could be making a whole lot more money, And he has corporate clients. He deals with government clients. I believe, I forgot the and he'll share more about his journey, or what he does actually, but he manages assets for corporations. He could be charging a whole lot more money. And so because I know him, because we had such a great experience with the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance community, he said he'll come back. And when you talk about 5 weeks of him just training, pretty much, and doing a personalized assessment, and you also becoming part of his company, or you'll become a client. Let me say that. Yeah, that's the price, and the content that's going to be covered. It's a deal. Investing is risky. We need a community with whom have a Series 7, especially with Bitcoin. Well, you need more than just a Series 7. So Hakeem is a actual certified, what is he? He has access to the treasury. Let's just say that. He has the certification or licensees. He's a certified, child, let me just look it up. Yeah, so anybody could get a Series 7. If you have not lived through the ebbs and flows of the market, and you got your Series 7 anytime after 2000, and let's just say 12, yeah, I don't know how vetted that is. So Hakeem has, let me just quickly read this, is a certified treasury professional with over 3 decades of experience and numerous achievements. His experience is in banking and institutional investing. How many people can say that? You got a Series 7, that don't mean you know anything about institutional investing. And let me say this too. If someone has 30 years experience unscathed running their own wealth firm, they also have contacts. They also know what those market makers, robber barons are doing. Those are the people that can charge the premium prices for guidance, right? Those are the people that have been through it. And he's financially successful himself. Like, again, if you would have paid attention and taken action, if you would have taken the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance course, met with Hakeem, Miss P, she's not here today, but she's always in the community. She did. And she's like, yo, my portfolio, I'm so glad. Like, it's just, you just have to have the right people on your team. You have to have the people that are not willing to dismiss you. There was something else I want to show you real quick as we're talking about this. But his experiences in banking, institutional investing, fund and asset management, hedge funds and endowments, small businesses and nonprofits. When we talk about small businesses during the Range Society, there'll be some tips and expertise in that area as well. Healthcare sector and financial management. But let me just show you this real quick. Because you can have a Series 7. You can have a Series 7. Morgan. Okay, let me do this. There was a financial manager. Well, this is another one, but this isn't the latest one. But there was someone who just from financial manager steals, I think it was like $4 million from JP Morgan. Oh, yeah. There was a Florida man and his accountant charged with stealing over $100 million from a trust fund he founded for people with special needs. That's not the story I was talking about, but these are accountants. These are people who have licenses that still will do you dirty. American greed is real. Y'all watch that show? American greed is real. So don't just look for a Series 7. Look for somebody who's unscathed. Look for somebody who's been through the ebbs and flows of the good times as well as the dark times, the pullbacks, right? And I don't even like to call them dark times. I like to call them opportunity. Just like in 2020, let me just show y'all this. And this is the last show and tell I'm going to do. Let me go to, I can't pull up my charts, but let me just show you this chart. We are at all-time highs, y'all. Let me just show y'all, though. If we were to look at a 1 year, oh, can y'all see this? Share. Okay, so hopefully you can see this, but I'm going to change. I'm not signed in. Let me see. Let me see if I could just do it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let's do 12 months. So if we would have looked at, no, I don't want to do 12 months. I want to do 1 month. Okay. So if we look at 2020, when the market was here, this is the SPX. This is the chart that tracks the top 500 companies on the stock market, publicly traded companies. So if we look right here, if you could see this, I hope you can. Let me get rid of this. This was February of 2020, where we were almost at all-time, well, at highs, right? At 30, yeah, all-time highs, 3,300 on the S&P 500. Then we dipped all the way down to, the range was, the low was 2,191. That was over 1,000-point drop. But guess what happened here? Guess what the wealthy did? Went all in, put all their chips on the table. And then from 2020 to where we are today, at 64.56. If you would have just put your money in an ETF, right? Let's just say, so the ETF for SPX is SPY, or one of the main ones, right? So if you would have purchased one ETF share at 200, 200, so it's 1/10, right, of the SPX. Is it 1/10? 10%. Anyway, so if you would have paid 200 and something dollars for one share of SPY in 2020, March of 2020, it would be worth, just one share, $644 today. I got to plug in my computer. Give me 1 second. That is $400 plus return for doing nothing. And that's just one share. There were people who put millions upon millions upon millions and just let it ride and did not get scared right here when it came back down, because guess what happened? It went back up. Now, if we do, let me see if I could do, because I'm not signed in. So my chart looks a little different when I'm signed in. But let's just look. Let's just look. Let's just look, child. This is where we were in 1993 for the SP. This is SPY. This is when this ETF launched. If you would have been investing since 1993, dollar cost averaging in, just look at that. And these are the type of things that we're going to learn. We're going to go through companies and charts that are poised for future growth, right? We're not talking about NVIDIA where it is today. We're not, let's see where NVIDIA is today. Oh, child. Child. If you would have invested in NVIDIA in 2020, look at that. If you would have invested in NVIDIA of 2020, taken $10, if you would have taken $1,000, that's 100 shares. You would have, child, a lot of money. You would have, what is that, 18,000? No, 100, child. Let me just. Anyway, you would have a lot of money. Why is my brain not working? 100 shares times 181. Let's just do that. Oh, 181 times 100 equals. You have $18,000 just for, and that was from 2020. If you would have taken a simple 1,000, and we're not even talking about trading, we're talking about buying and holding, long-term investing. That's 5 years. Now, that's an outlier, right? Most companies don't move that way, but we'll teach you how to find the ones that are poised for that, right? Barring any like federal indictments or anything like that, we're going to teach you how to find those. So back to the comments, y'all. Like, I just get so excited talking about talking about money. Talking about how to find these opportunities, because I've been doing it for a very long time and super excited. So what do I mean by redefining human rights? Redefining what they classify human rights to be. That's what they're doing. So whereas women trafficking was a human rights violation, is it still? Things like that. Yeah, it's about population control. They're literally, so you're talking about the carbon butter. And so many of us will be, we love us some butter, child. We love us some butter in everything, in the mac and cheese and the pies and the cakes and all the things, which I grew up on too. But our butter, we used to churn butter like back in the days, like growing up, coming down here, spending summers, like there was still some churning of some butter, and people were going door to door to sell freshly churned butter. Like that's the type of butter we were using. Now we did use lard too, I ain't gonna lie, but again, healthier pigs equal healthier oils, right? So yeah, but you're right. There's some population control. And damn if I'm a buy. Yes, truly free trap the fabric of clothes you wear, especially breast and undergarments, and the things we put on our body, the lotions, the oils, all of that contribute. You're right. We were never supposed to be wearing stuff like polyester up against us. I forgot there's people that's like, yeah, I would never ever wear a bra again. Like, even to have that stuff rubbing up against you all day as you perspire, all of that, that is not good. It's kind of like, putting covers on your nails. Like, it's child. Yes, toxic cookware and kitchen containers, plastic, cooking with certain oils, all of that, which is why they are preparing. We see more commercials for the big C word and all these other, get your colonoscopy and all of that, and they have already projected the spike in the big C word with the much younger demographic. We in danger, y'all. Stephen actually said the population of the U.S. needs to be reduced by 100 million. That looks to me like it's about 41. Yeah, yeah, they're definitely, but follow the money though. It's not has nothing else to do than with, not that there's not enough land for us. It's that we all have a cost associated to us. And in order for the rich to get richer, they have to bring down those costs. So yeah, I'm not sure documents for residency. You can go on to the just Google Mexican Residency Consulate in whatever state you would want to get residency in, if that's what you're talking about, and you can find the list of documents required. Now, I will say you have to find the part that says visa, because that might be the only part you understand, because most of it's in Spanish until you get to the English version. There's some sites where you can transfer from Spanish to English, but you have to go to the website and see. Interesting to you that a lot of Black celebs with huge platforms are radio silent while this country and our history has been. A lot of them, are celebrities because they sold their souls, right? They could care less about us. They have rights to remain silent. Yes, they have a right. Exactly. There's so many more rights. Y'all listen, y'all gonna make y'all this is gonna sound like a one big commercial, but listen, I have the emergency document guide with clickable links in the description too. That's under $13, I want to say. So you can go ahead, and it gives you people to call, things to say. It has a special section for Haitian immigrants, because that's a whole different. They are literally, they have a target for how many they want to send back, when the country is more dangerous now than ever. And so the link is in the description for that. Reggie Jackson says Dems are sitting it out, but we supposed to vote. He knew he didn't have to go to the service, child. I know that. It seems like they put deep thought into these moves. However, I have to trust that we will somehow prevail if we get clear on our intentions, attention, and align our actions for benefits for all. We are more divided as a people than ever before. Nothing's impossible, right? But if ever the term self-preservation is the first law of nature was more truer with us as a people, is today. I don't get that the unity is going to just some way spike. So put your oxygen mask on first and do what you need to do to save yourself, your family, and then those who want to be saved, right? 100%. Yep. Yes, hey, creative flavor and travel. Yep. Well, I don't know if that's what showed him. He knew that, child. If you grew up in New York, it wasn't her, but yeah. These black mayors are a problem. Protect them from what led them to finish doing us in. ICE raids, all these food trucks, all immigrants. Oh, that's good. I don't understand what that means. Um, so I also saw something. It's not immigrants who stay together and start businesses that's the problem, child. That's what I'm trying to get us to do. They had the protocol, they had the formula. And I know many people, especially here in the South, that families did something similar. They owned businesses and they passed on their businesses. Now, the kids in our communities, they don't want our businesses, right? They want to do other things. And so I don't blame the immigrants for doing what they did to succeed by keeping 7 families in a 2-bedroom apartment until they can financially each be independent by listing one of the eldest people in their family to a $10 million life insurance policy that everyone chipped in on. So when that person died, because, you know, odds are that, you know, the oldest members, now those life insurance policies are not cheap, right? So the whole family would work to chip in. They wouldn't all have life insurance policies. Why pay, you know, for 40 years of life insurance policy when you can insure the elders in your family at a higher premium, but everyone pitching in. And then once that money, but see, we wouldn't even trust people, right? We know how funerals and weddings go in our family, right? But they had the formula, they had the blueprint. So I'm not mad at them at all. There's things we can learn from the immigrant communities that came here and did what they did. Um, yeah, unfortunately, let me just say this too. Again, I think there were some people that got hoodwinked and bamboozled, right? Thinking that well, number one, they were never going to vote for a black woman. That's number one. Some of them thought that what that man was saying was rhetoric. They did not foresee what was to come so quickly. And some of them are having buyer's remorse, right? I know there were some people that, especially based on your religion, that would never vote for a party, no matter who they were, who promoted um, the right to unalive babies. They would never support certain things that were related to LGBTQ. Like, listen, that is what it is, especially in the Bible Belt, especially in southern states. No matter how many sins they commit, no matter how many things they do wrong, right? That ish did not matter. They were not going to go to a poll and vote somebody who openly supported those things, right? Thinking that some way that they would not get into the pearly gates of heaven. And so those people I give grace to, because you don't know what you don't know. And if you're brainwashed and trained into certain beliefs all your life, and I'm not going to call religion brainwashing, some people it is, but I'll just say, yeah, I give grace to those people. But then there's others that are just self-hating, i.e., we see it every day with the Tim Scotts, right? And so, yeah, um, we're not going to focus on the immigrants on this channel. We need to focus on ourselves. We need to start to reign. We need to start taking pages from their playbook. They put their money in the stock market. They didn't go out buying $700 sneakers online when they make 20,000 a year. Like, like they didn't. Yeah. So I'm not bashing us, but there's things that from, and it's all justifiable why we do some of the things we do. But when you know better, you do better. Yes, old school Gym Nation. That's right. That is right. They were here from the beginning. And so they know we've been talking this talk and coming in community and trying to do better. Black men should know to be cool, nothing will happen. Child, that ain't my testimony over here. I don't know who William Jones is, but if you have a son, yeah, we're not even gonna keep that comment up here because that's falsehood. You ain't getting my youngins hemmed up. Oh, the lightning is lightning, y'all. So we about to. Ooh, child. Ooh. Um, LJ says, I can testify to that because you and your Gym Nation community, I decided to be about that action, especially for your autistic son. Yeah. And that's the other things. Like these law enforcement people that are being rushed through the system are not being properly trained on neurodivergency, autism, mental, I want mental distinctions, right? They're not being trained on that. So they're going to act first because they can do whatever they want. So God bless you, LJ, for being about that action and protecting your son. Juanita says she spoke to her godchildren and their mother to get their paperwork passports together. Amen. And that's all you can do, right? Sharing is caring. Don't get mad at people that be like, I don't need that. I still see people saying, I ain't carrying no papers with me. All right. All right. I wouldn't want to go to Vegas with you because I like to be with people who stack the odds in their favor. I don't gamble anyway, so I'm just saying all that. But yeah, I'm all about people who are strategic and know what to do. I'm just going to say, do your research. Do your research. Yes, Juanita's old school. Yes, 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 yes. Someone's calling. Give me a second. Um, Thank you. Thank you, LJ. Seeing an increasing amount of stories about how Mexico, South American countries are dangerous. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, mass personnel are approaching folks on their papers. Exclamation point. Now that is a word right there. But we do not want to pay attention to certain things. We only want to pay attention to what we want to pay attention to. Well, we know who can't be. We need to unite more than ever. Portugal will not save us. Running will not resolve the problems. What do you mean running? What are like? Why are y'all so? Why are y'all so fixated? And I don't know what Portugal meant, but are you in Portugal, Terry? I can't remember. But let me just say this: why are y'all so fixated on territorial land ownership? Right? If you don't have the deed to something, right? If you don't have the deed to something, and even if you do you really own it? When the government could come and take it at any time under eminent domain, like y'all, not y'all, but y'all. The mindset, child, we got to do better. We just have to do better with the mindset because I don't know what you mean by running. I ain't running nowhere. I got residency other places and I come and go as I please for now, but I don't know what you mean by running. Some places are just so much more peaceful and beautiful and provide such a better quality of life, and y'all don't even know it. Y'all so stuck on trauma, the trauma of this country, y'all don't even know it. Hey, Cheryl, PhD. Good to see you. Hey, Just One. Good to see you as well. Cheryl, I mean, Just One ain't running either. She got her residency too. Like, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Stack the odds in your favor. Play chess, not checkers. Like, I don't get it. Child, like, who? Life is too short. So whoever, I don't try to convince people. Ain't my job, ain't my testimony. Y'all, people who consult with me come because they want to, right? Not because I make them. People who join my communities do it because they want to, not because I make them. I'm not in the job of, the only people I would try to persuade were my clients, or people that are truly like, I know what's about to come, y'all. I know what's about to come, especially as it relates to you. So people like, if I have family members that work for the government, like stuff like that, like I'll try to persuade you, but I'm not wasting too much time either. Life is short. Time is short. And I want the best for us, but some people, just ain't gonna get it. Okay, Mini Life, you got one more time to talk about ignorance on this channel. I usually don't acknowledge idiots on here. Like, I don't, and I don't even mind engaging in a logical debate with you. But what won't be tolerated is certain words, certain conversations, and the post you just did, which I will not highlight, is one of those. So let me go ahead and remove that comment, but you do another one, you too will be removed. Oh, you heard the thunder, child. Oh, goodness. Yes, we need to stop being 10 toes down. They want us out. They took the land and homes of the Japanese community and put them in jail. Put them in jail. Took all their assets. They came out to nothing. Luckily, they came out, right? Thank God they came out. But when they came out, they had nothing. Nobody was paying the mortgage. So guess who took that? The banks. They got plans, y'all. We in danger, y'all. But some of y'all don't want to at least do the research. Y'all don't have to believe me. Just do the research. Listen to some scholars versus listening to the legacy news. Listen to the history. There's also a reason why the Black net worth is projected to be 0 by 2053. All of this is not by accident. It's by design. They are playing chess at a very high level. We ain't even playing checkers, y'all. We playing jump rope. We're not even using the brain, really. This is okay. You're in DC. You're in DC. Okay. I think you said that too. Thank you, Cheryl, PhD. We want to be the ones that wait till it's too late and then try to rush to get ish done. That has never been my story. Like, I do procrastinate with certain things, right? But when it comes to things this serious, not my story, nor do I want it to be others around me. But many African Americans feel like they have to leave the U.S. We mustn't surrender to the GOP. Listen, I say I get what you're saying, Teddy. So let me start there. I say do what you need to do that brings you peace during this short amount of time we have on earth, right? Do what you need to do. So if you staying and not surrendering, or you call it surrender, God bless you. If Teddy Smith decides to leave and move to the motherland, move to another country because they want peace, They don't want to have to worry about their child going out in these streets and getting pum-pumed, because that doesn't happen in other countries. If they don't want to have to worry about what's next because they worked all their lives for Social Security, and now seeing that there's going to be changes coming that may affect their Social Security, so they're setting themselves up in a place where they can afford to live the same beautiful type of lifestyle, God bless them. Like, I don't get I don't get what the fight, I don't get what the battle is to try to get everyone to stay someplace. And again, to the people that can't leave, because I do know that there are people that can't get a passport, that can't get approved to live in other countries because of past mistakes or whatever, right? I get that. But are those people even planning for what's next? Are they in community now, either on social trying to educate people? Like, I know for a fact, my goal is to be more global, right? Be more global. So I'm not saying that, Mexico is the end all be all. I'm never going no place else. Goal is to spend time in the motherland. Goal is to spend time in Mexico, someplace I adore, someplace I love, right? And then also travel. I get that not everybody can do that for whatever reasons, which is why I am on this platform encouraging those who can't to still stack the odds in their favor, so they're not caught out there without paperwork, without someplace, a plan B, right? So if you're in a community where you're the only one or one of few, and that community turns against you, where are you going? Who's your nearest ally? Where's the nearest community organization that you can lean on? Like, we are just sitting out here waiting for things to happen, and that's no bueno. Your motto is, I'm not waiting to get this last 2 Delta seats. Exactly, the ABX girl. ABX girl. I agree with you. Like, I totally agree with you. With, like, preparation is, if opportunity to do something different hits you, but you're not prepared, then it's a wasted opportunity, right? And so let's just say things go extremely left, right? Or right. And we start seeing things that put us in fear for ourselves, our families, our lives, or whatever, but you have not one other option but to sit there. Whose fault is that? Not saying that all your options are going to work out or be the best, right? Or lead to 100% success. But if you have no other options, not one, but to sit there and ride it out, whose fault is that? So again, this is not to be preachy. This is just to share that we have to do a better job of putting our oxygen mask on first. Stop sitting there and waiting for things to happen to us, and without any preparation. Child, we met last week Saturday, the accountability, so y'all know I also do a 28-day accountability challenge, which will be part of the RAIN community too, in some aspect. It may not be 28 days, but it's being worked out now. We met on Saturday of last almost a week ago, and I know I have an invitation. If I need to go rock out with LJ where she is now or her next place, I have an invitation. So does everybody else in that community. They also know if they need to rock out with me in Mexico, they have an invitation. It's about having options, right? It's about not waiting for things to happen to you. They also know, well, LJ has places here too. So does everybody in the community owns homes. We have connected. that if some place that I'm at in the US is about to go crazy and my family's situation, whatever, I have options to lean on. That's what the RAIN community is going to be about, but also from a financial aspect, right? And so whenever any of these communities are created, these courses are created, it's based on what I know the future is going to be, what I know. I'm not saying I know everything, but there's certain things I know. Follow the money, you'll know the truth, right? There's certain things I know. Every one of these courses have been designed specifically to answer those situations. And so I encourage you to find the community that you can lean on, that you could be in community with. And I also, listen, I have no tolerance for certain things. And there have been certain communities that I developed for free, which have been bad ideas. People who mean you harm will not pay usually to bring you harm. You let them in the door for free, they will bring you harm. And so all of my communities moving forward, except for this live community, will have some type of vetting system. The internet is a place for where a lot of cuckoo for Cocoa Puff people reside, right? And that's not to be negative to people who have real issues, right? But I do know one thing for certain, two things for sure. The cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people, they're not paying to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in spaces. They know that they could be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for free in other places. And so there's levels to the communities that we have. There are various communities that we have. And I also offer free like y'all know, for the OG people, just as I have offers that have a price to them, there are free offers as well. There are free guides. There are free resources that I take the time to put together for this community. But I do know that just like I'm in certain communities that I also pay to be in because of the level of information, the level of contacts is worth it. That's the same here. So anyway, saying all that to say, child, we've been on here for 2 hours. I'm with you. I love Mexico. By the way, it's unfortunate, but racism is absolutely everywhere. Yeah, if you say so. If you say so. Listen, that ain't my experience, but if you say so. Especially as it relates to us. There are beautiful places in this country that they could give a damn that we are Black people and will treat you 10 times better than your neighbors will. Again, I'm not here to convince you, Teddy. I don't know how many places you've traveled to. I'm not going to try to sell you on my beliefs. But I also have a travel community. You may not know that. Black Travel and Culture, over 300,000 subscribers, followers, members across platforms. That is absolutely not the case. So anyway, saying all that to say, it has been 2 hours and 18 minutes. I do want to come back. There's a topic. I'm going to try to come back tomorrow. I do have some things I need to get done tomorrow, but just pay close attention to I am going to come back tomorrow night. Let's say that. I will be back. Wait. Let me just make sure. Looking at a calendar right now, and I could give you a time right now. Oh, child. The storm. We are in the midst of the storm. Where's my calendar? I don't need the weather. Let me get the calendar so y'all can know what time I'm going to be back tomorrow. Wow, it's the 15th. Oh, that's my uncle's birthday. And I'm in his house right now. Oh, child. Let's just say, I don't know if I'll be back on Saturday. I might do, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to do a drive and talk tomorrow. So pay attention to the community tab for that. I'm going to do a drive and talk tomorrow early. And then, because there's a couple things I do want to reiterate, some emails that I received from, if you're not on those email lists that I told you should be on, there's some things that I want to bring to light. But yeah, looking forward to everyone who is joining the RAIN community or RAIN Society, excuse me. There will be more. Another email will go out a little later today about some of the perks. And if you're on the email list, great. If you're not, get on the email list. You can get on the email list just simply by, let me put this link in. I'm going to do another link because I also want to make sure you're getting it because my platform was having an outage. And so I just want to make sure that I have you both places. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm going to add the link, the right link to sign up. Give me 1 second. Tell you, whenever it rains, you're going to hear the sirens because somebody done got in a wreck, child. They don't not know how to drive here. I don't know what the problem is. You know what? I'm just going to... Oh, you know what? It might be in the description. Let me just look real quick. It might be in the description, and you can go ahead and get the free resource guide. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I put it in because the live sometimes... Did you hit the subscribe button? Are you a subscriber? Are you part of the Gym Nation now? No, it's not here. So I'm gonna add. Let me give it to you right now. If you want to sign up on the, to be part of the Gym Nation newsletter community, let me go ahead and put that link in the description now. You're going to end up getting a free... Oh, you know what I could do? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do because some of y'all are new. So let me go ahead and offer you a free resource. And it will be a free download that will give you links to non-traditional news sources that you can use for bipartisan, non-left or right-wing information. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat. And I'll also add it to sign up for the newsletter. Okay, I just put it in, and you will be officially part of the subscribers list, and I'll make sure I'll send you out the information regarding RAIN. But I'll put the RAIN information one more time. I'm not even gonna... It's the bit.ly RAIN Society. And I think hope this is it. Hope I typed it right. If I didn't, my bad. um, yes, and there's payment plans available too. So again, it's 10 weeks. It's 10 weeks of some real information that will help you future-proof your portfolios, y'all. So anyway, I think that's all I got. Let me see anybody else make a comment. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay, if the country doesn't work, if this country doesn't work, there are other options, right? And there's always other options. You can always listen. This world is a big, beautiful place, and some of us are just scared to explore, scared to step out of our comfort zone, scared to engage with other cultures. Hence why I launched Black Travel and Culture back in 2017, y'all. Because, we'll go on vacation, stay on the resort, eat all the food, drink all the drinks, and never extend outside of that resort. The purpose of my community was just to show and prove that there's a big world out there, a big world of people that treat us with respect, a big world of people that have more in common with us than different. I've hosted trips to Colombia, I've hosted trips to Mexico, hosted trips to China, Thailand, and all the major cities in Thailand. So Phuket, Bangkok, and Chiang Mai, not all the major cities, but 3 of the major cities, the Great Wall of China. And it's just, we just need to explore more and pay attention. So anyway, 2 hours, 25 minutes. I think that's all she wrote. 2 hours, 26 minutes. I am going to go have lunch. And I am also going to get ready for this call with Hakeem. Thanks, everyone. And I will see you on the next live tomorrow afternoon. I will post by tonight what time I'm going to go live tomorrow. Anyway, have a good night, good day, good night, all that good stuff. Be safe. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.